Oh, wait, is this happening? What happened to our video? Am I in the Twilight Zone? No, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding out there. I'm not trying to bust balls here. I'm just so used to seeing our videos like every now and then. It feels really awkward. But hello, everybody out there. We're glad that you were able to join us this afternoon or early afternoon West Coast for and mid afternoon on the people on the East Coast. I am one of the hosts of Mount Schmoedown, Ryan Payne. Next to me is my co-host Ben Rayner. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Excited about talking about today and the celebrity matches.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. And we're definitely not alone. Joining us today, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely recognize this guy. He is a recurring guest host, a guest on the Schmoes of the North. And he has his own YouTube channel, the Movie Loves Unite YouTube channel. Please, ladies and gentlemen, introduce John. I want to say your full name, but unfortunately, it's being blocked out. So, John, how you doing?
It's okay. I'm doing good, man. How are you doing? It's good to have you on here. Thank you again for having me on. I appreciate it. Hey, Ben, thank you again as well.
No
Definitely
problem.
appreciate it, man.
You're welcome.
And we're glad that you're here, honestly. This is kind of fun. Yeah, if you guys have just clicked on this video, we are talking about the celebrity matches in the movie trivia Schmoedown. Now, some of you are going to be wondering, isn't this a show that's supposed to be about players and their and sometimes the overlooked, underrated, and sometimes forgotten players? Sort of. What mainly our show at Mount Schmoedown is we take a look at most of the movie trivia Schmoedown's career. I mean, well, the extended history of the Schmoedown, and we really try to judge things that have led great impact and legacy in the Schmoedown, which includes some of the players that we have talked about, like Ken Knapsack, like Brianne Chandler, Emma Fife, Jason Inman, Matt Nost, Joseph Scrimshaw, to name a few. But also, this is going to be a special episode for us because we're talking about something that, if you are a fan of the Schmoedown, you should know that this is something that it's not something they do, but this was very prominent when they were part of Collider. It was the celebrity matches. Now, if you guys watched within seasons 3 to 5, yeah, celebrity matches were very prominent when they were still with the Collider era. But even then, they were very important. Because if it wasn't for these little celebrity matches, it got more eyes towards the Schmoedown, which started to bring in more and more people involved with the Schmoedown to now in season 8, where we have at least 4, 5 actual celebrities. And I'm talking about like actors and maybe people in. I mean, celebrity, of course, it is a very staunchy word. So we try to categorize it in like actors, directors in the movie division as well. I mean, in movies in the Hollywood area, pretty much who they're able to get on Collider. But it is a big word.
Go ahead, I did want to clarify. Today we're talking about one-ups. Nobody that has an ongoing Schmoedown career. So we won't be talking about celebrities. We won't be talking about Kevin Smith. We won't be talking about Christian Jericho. These are the very special celebrity-filled matches that were one-up.
Exactly.
Be clear.
Yeah, Ben named a few: Sam Levine, Jericho, Smith, even others that are part of it, like Bonnie Somerville, Mark Bernardin, that were a part of this as well. Even Ethan Irwin, even though he's technically not a celebrity, but he is a big figure in the film industry, so they will be excluded from this. But we are going to be talking about the. Let me check my list again. 3, 6. Well, there are 9 total celebrity matches that's on the playlist in the Schmoedown's YouTube page, and we're going to be focusing on those 9. We may not cover all of them, but we are going to talk about the ones that we watched, what impressed us of these matches, possibly, if we were to, let's say, next year another draft happens, any of these celebrities that we saw from these matches, would we have actually loved to see them in the Schmoedown? And those in the chat, you can definitely name some of your favorite moments from these celebrity matches as well. So let's just get this going. John, knowing this topic that we had, just your overall thoughts with the celebrity matches in general, like.
Okay. So my first initial thoughts was it was all memories from whenever I used to watch the Schmoedown, because I am a returning audience member that used to watch the Schmoedown all the time, and now I'm seeing the rules change for the better. I feel like the rules have gotten better since the last time, but the celebrity matches were always my favorite because it set the tone for what we have now. And that is the fact that we have more celebrities coming in and enjoying it. If it wasn't for the kids with it, if it wasn't for Ash coming in, and if it wasn't for the other directors and stuff like that coming in and wanting to do Schmoedown, we wouldn't have many people that are passionate about Schmoedown. Our actors, actresses, directors wanting to come into this game and celebrate what we love, which is the Schmoedown. And there wouldn't be no Schmoedown without Christian, and there wouldn't be no Schmoedown at all if it wasn't for him bringing these celebrities on. And, rewatching this, I'm laughing at the same jokes, but it's like I'm watching it for the first time because of the fact it's a lot of nostalgia factor to it. I miss Schnepp. I miss the big sweaty guy. Just seeing him on that Ash versus Evil Dead show was just fantastic. The back and forth between him and the other Schmoedown competitor at the time though too. I love the smack talk between the two of them. Who knows Harm better than anybody else? And like, you know what? We're gonna go head to head. And next thing you know, Ash comes out of nowhere. The whole entire thing, when you look at the celebrity matches, were just fantastic to me. I loved seeing that stuff. And now that we have Kevin Smith on, now that we have other celebrities on and everything, and Chris Jericho, which who would have thought that we would actually get a WWE champion into the Schmoedown? It's just mind blowing to me because it's battle of the mind. It's not physicality. It's just the battle of the mind and the strategy of the mind that he has to go under now, which I find fascinating.
So let me ask you guys a question. I have the same one, mine. Do you have a favorite celebrity match that you're looking forward to talking about today?
That is a very good question, honestly. Okay, for me, looking through all of this stuff, I mean, going off of memory, I think the one that hit me the most was the Alex Wolff versus John Roca match, and I almost forgot about that. Like, when we were talking about this pre-show, all of a sudden it just popped up in my memory. And then I'm like, how the hell did I forget about this? Because I remember the early promo, they had that early bit in the beginning to where Alex Wolff and John Roca were doing these great smack talks with each other. John Roca's like playing off of the whole, you're a young guy, and then Alex Wolff coming as the cocky guy. And then great back and forth to where Roca says, "You don't tell me about that. I'm a 2-time champion. I know my stuff." Alex just, without missing a beat, says, "Well, I'm a 20-year champion. Just ask my mother." And then it just this nice, funny back and forth where Roca, you clearly see Roca is breaking in character. And then Wolff, like I was just telling the guys earlier, like Wolff all of a sudden continues going, "Look what happens after this match. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to call up my mom. You're going to take her out to like a nice dinner." Like he was really like, you're going to wine and dine her. Like Roca had a hard time staying in character. And that was just a beautiful moment. And even then, the match itself was very competitive. Roca ends up winning. Like he gets his fight. I mean, Alex Wolff showed like he was a very good competitor. He only got like 3 points after that first round, but even then, he did great in the second round. And it was like back and forth between him and Roca. They were going back and forth. Alex hit his 2, Roca hit the 2. Alex got his 3, Roca got the 3. Alex got his 5. Then it gets to Roca, and then Roca, being Roca, pretends he doesn't know the answer, just toying with Wolff, and he ends up winning. Like, funny part was Christian, after Roca won, says, "The crowd is throwing objects at Roca. They're throwing trash at Roca." So if you want to get like a great match for Roca, oh, go ahead, man.
No, it's cool. But no, I wish I could actually saw that match. I didn't see that one, unfortunately. But just going off of it, it feels like The Rock versus Roca, pretty much, if you think about it, if he's making Roca a great character. Because that's what it feels like to me on the way that you're describing it. And I would love to see that. And to me, these celebrity matches, to me, are the most strategic things that you can actually think of. Because it's always a good back and forth game. There's always, like, okay, who's going to come up on top? Because you have, like I said before, you have Schnepp and everything. But you don't know who's going to come up on top. You don't know what their strategies are. You also don't know their strengths. You don't know their weaknesses either. And it's a good back and forth match between both opponents and everything.
Yeah. And speaking of which, John, what is your favorite celebrity match? Just to continue on.
Well, let's see here. I'm a big fan of horror. I love the to be honest with you, I would actually have to put the Ash versus Evil Dead one number 1. and then follow it up with, of course, having Freddie Prinze Jr. match as second, and then the last one would be it for me. But I definitely love the back and forth with the, of course, with Ash as the commentator, where he goes, you know what, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to be the commentator and everything. And he's just giving away answers and giving hints. And, you know, and they're not even getting it. Shep's not even getting it at all. But it was just funny.
I didn't like how Knapsack was just like, he's just like there to recover for him. It's like, hey, it's fine. It happens here. And like Ellis and Knapsack were just like, yeah, he slips up and it's just like, hey, don't worry about it.
Right. But yeah, that's how I have my ranking system as of right now. But, you know, I thought it was a very good head-to-head match because I forgot all about Schnepp losing that match and everything, to be honest with you. But it was a very good nail-biter of a match. They both knew their stuff. They both knew coming into it that it was going to be a nail-biter and stuff like that, even though it was for a good time. But even though it's a good time, once the cameras are on, that's it. That's when it comes to be real. And seeing them go head-to-head like that was just really cool and everything, in my opinion. But, you know, it's just... I actually have to laugh though, like whenever I forgot, Schnepp missed one of the questions, and then Ash is like this. That's what I'm going to call him. I'm just going to call him Ash because that's. But he pretty much winds up saying, "Really? I just gave you the answer on a silver platter, and you don't even." They remind me of back when I was in high school, when people would try and tell me the answers. I'm like, what is he talking about? So I just marked down just an answer and it was wrong and I failed the test. And that's what it reminded me of. That was like, even with the answers in front of them, they still missed it.
I'm remembering it at the same time you are, and now I just caused my headphones to fall off my head. But like, that is a funny one. Just like that long joke that Ash was doing. That was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, Ben and I, we slightly touched on it when we were focused on our John Schnepp episode. But even then, just that match alone was very good. Like seeing Dana like being teamed up with Whitney, seeing how good she was, like really getting into the character aspect of the Schmoedown. And then of course, did they bring puppets on, or was it just that little scene between Whitney and?
They brought one puppet on from Ash vs. Evil Dead, and then Schnepp had a small little puppet type thing, but it was more like a little doll that he was carrying for like support. And that was it. But yeah, the puppet was even insulting Schnepp and them too. And was trying to give him answers. It kind of reminded me of Mr. Sacco from Mankind whenever she was doing that, to be honest with you.
Oh, that was so good, yeah. But this was a stock of the head attitude.
I miss Schnepp. He could have been so fun where we are now with all the factions. If he was still alive, you know he would have been a hell of a manager for one of his factions.
I agree.
He would have. Manager, a great personality. Oh, go ahead, Ben. I'm sorry.
I really want to say he would have been an awesome heel. Awesome heel.
Yeah.
I can see him and Barbarian. I can see him and Barbarian teaming up.
I do actually. I guess it was just kind of that situation to where, like, when Ben and I touched on it, we did that in our episode with 50. What manager we would have seen Schnepp with, since Schnepp was a part of this whole thing. I'll just extend that. I'll extend that to you, John. Schnepp was still around. What kind of manager would you have wanted to see him with currently?
To be honest with you, I think he would actually fit into the dungeon and everything, just because of the fact that with his personality and also his drive that he has to do it, I think that he would actually fit in with the dungeon. I could also see him smack talking Finstock with this Finstock exchange and stuff like that too. I can because don't forget, he used to smack talk against Finstock all the time back whenever he was alive and everything. And you know, I could actually see him smack talking him and stuff like that. I think he would be a great addition to the dungeon, to be honest with you. I think that he would actually be perfect for that.
Oh man, can you see him working with Kaiser? that combo.
I really
That would be
could, actually.
interesting.
I mean, him and Kaiser would have a great back and forth. I mean, the fact that he's very geeky in knowledge, part of me could have also seen Schnepp working with Coy. The fact that these two guys would be doing nothing but talking about geeky stuff.
Well, they had that show too, so that would actually be perfect for him.
Yeah.
So it's a tie on, but I think right now we should definitely try to put a pin on Schnepp, not for long, but just keep continuing on with these Schmoedown matches. Ben, since John has brought up his favorite, I've talked about my favorite. What is your favorite celebrity match after going through that catalog?
Well, I have two, and so I don't want to took one of mine, but I was saying, and probably in the first one in the Collider era, I'm going to say it, Vinny Prince versus Sam Whitford. That was an epic match. That was a regular singles match, but both of them got the Star Wars questions. Here's my coincidence.
Well, I mean, of course, with Freddie Prinze, it's more like he landed on Star Wars. But when Sam he got Spinner's Choice, he's like, I mean, you guys don't have Star Wars questions. Like he was taking a jab, and then Christian just goes, "Yeah, we got more." I love the whole back and forth. Like Freddie's like, first Sam's protesting. Now, this is the only Schmoedown match that's happening under protest.
I love that quote, though. To be honest with you, I wish that they would actually put that as like a Schmoedown T-shirt and everything too, having that quote on there. But yeah, the back and forth with that one with Freddie Prinze was really good. I thought it was really challenging as well, and also too, like you can actually tell. Like, I actually was picturing this light side versus dark side, which one would actually win in a duel of the minds instead of lightsabers. And it was just cool just to see them two just to face off against each other and them answering the questions. And it was also challenging questions. It wasn't like a really easy questions either that anybody would actually get, which is something that I really appreciated with the writers of that.
Well, and also,
go ahead.
I was going to say this match led to the team match of Star Wars. The champion episode was Sam and Freddie, which led to the first five-way, I believe, right?
Yeah, everything was a build. Everything like this is one that had story to it. And of course, I was kind of, because the first one we were putting this together, I was kind of debating whether to leave this match. I mean, the Freddie versus Sam involved because Sam had became a player. But like Ben was saying, this had story connection through it. This had this literally it was like a big stone to throw into the pond, and it just kept living and left ripples and ripples, and it just like created something new. Like Beth, like going for a geeky analogy here. The 2009 Star Trek, where the crew are trying to explain Nero's being from the future into the past, and then Spock says Nero's presence altered the flow of events. That's pretty much what the celebrity match was with Sam and Freddie Prinze. It was that moment that altered events in the Schmoedown that just kept inspiring and led Christian to create the Star Wars League, honestly. So, like, if you really want to trace this back, the origins, you look at Freddie Prinze versus Sam. And even then, Sam was someone else who took great to character, because after the match, he's playing a heel. He's taking so much of the dark side into himself, where he's like, I like Freddie. I don't want to play him. I don't know you, and I don't like you. You know, like, and then Christian comes in and sets up that team's match.
So here's a question for you guys: without that match, would we have no Star Wars League today?
Well, a part of me thinks Christian may have gotten to it eventually, but I don't think it would have happened as quick. Because he would have actually, because let's be honest, Sam and Freddie were the ones that kind of pushed it forward, because after the Fourth Broken Council match, I think Christian wanted to do something big for Star Wars Celebration. Like, if Christian did not get a panel for Star Wars Celebration, I'm pretty sure he would have eventually done a studio match for Star Wars. But the fact that he got that panel there, and it was just like great set of circumstances and events that just like, oh, let's do a rematch, Force Bros versus the Council. But then Freddie couldn't make it. what happens now? Christian, he's able to get some Star Wars fans. You know, Jenny, Jeremy Johns, even Sam wanting to be a part of this. So, to be honest, Ben, I can go either way, but I think the Star Wars division could have. If I had to say, Star Wars division probably could have came in the 5th season, not the 4th one.
I just think it was lightning in a bottle. Everything happened the way it was supposed to happen for us to get what we have now with Andrew Taylor, Montoya, and Alex Naiman. I almost said Matt Naiman. Very different person.
But to go off of what you said, Ryan, I definitely have to agree with you on that, though, too. If it wasn't for the Freddie Prinze Jr. match, he wouldn't have gone that far with it at that point in time. But the fact that it was so fast-paced is like, okay, I have Freddie Prinze here. I have Sam Whitworth here. I'm going to do what I can do with the movement of getting this thing going for this, for these belts, for the Star Wars belts and stuff like that. Get the Star Wars thing going, and especially while the hype is still there. If it wasn't for them not being there, I think that he would have waited. I think he would have gone there eventually, but not as quickly as what we got back then. Because, and also too, it was impressive to see the fan base, you know, be packed in to a Schmoedown match on Star Wars Celebration Day and have that panel there. That was very impressive. And then Christian's like, you know what? Freddie's not here. What am I going to do with this? Oh, I know. I have Jeremy Johns here right now. Let me go see if Jeremy can join. Next thing you know, Jeremy joins. Next thing you know, he gets all these other little pieces together, and it formulates what we know now as the Star Wars Inner Geekdom championships and stuff like that. So I really loved where he placed everybody at the right time. I feel like Ben said, it was lightning in the bottle. You couldn't ask for more from what we got during that season with having that Star Wars belt. I also remember Ken Knapsack actually being the champion at that time afterwards and stuff like that too, and the whole entire story arc with that, as him being a heel, him backstabbing Rachel Cushion and stuff like that too. I remember all that stuff.
Yeah, you know, those are good, really good points, honestly, from both you guys. And I guess it's because of the fact of where Jesus.
Yeah, I'm like JTE when it comes to certain names. I'm not good with pronouncing some names. But sorry, Ken.
That is completely fine. But those are great points, though. That match really, just like that, the Freddie Prinze and Sam Whitwer match is definitely one match of historic value. I guess for me, because the fact we have 8 seasons now, and you can look back on them, it's easy to fall into that mindset to where, oh, Christian would have eventually gotten there. But then you guys bring up good points. Like you brought up the greatest point, Ben. It was lightning in the bottle. Who knew if Sam did not want to do that teams match, we would not have gotten that Star Wars division. Star Wars could have simply remained a slice on the wheel, and then moving forward, maybe someone who in Inner Geekdom who was a big fan would be like, can we just get a Star Wars division with all these movies coming out? Like, especially during the time where the new trilogy was coming out, the spin-offs were happening. Like, possibly it could have led to the creation of a Star Wars division. But you do have a point. Like, everything was lightning in a bottle, and it was kind of like the dominoes falling in place. One domino could have easily fallen off, and that's where it was.
It is really interesting to think about, like, going back to that match. You think, we have a lot to think because of this match. This match really helped the Schmoedown go further, in my opinion.
Speaking of Freddie and Sam's match, there's also another match I do also want to jump back on. And this is a match. This is early when it was Schmo's Nose Network, when they were still having that little garage and that little situation to where they were like, the 2 dudes in like doing movie reviews. And it's the match between Katie Sackhoff and Ken Knapsack.
Oh, now, I think I remember that. Okay.
It's not the most memorable match because Katie wasn't she was just there to play, like just to hang out with them. So she said and it's not like, and I understand people want to like overlook that match, but even then, that one moment where she gets Alyssa Milano correctly, that's something they've always had on their highlight reel to show like just completely guessing an answer. And even then, yeah, Knapsack still wins the match. But it was just fun to see, like, just seeing a celebrity like Katie Sackhoff there, just like a working actor, but at the same time, just not being, I mean, someone who's clearly seen movies. I think it's just like one movie. It's just like one match. Actually, all of the season 1 and 2 matches I can go back and watch on, not be focused on seriously, and just enjoy for the value that it was just plain trivia. And this was just one of those cool matches. And at the same time, yeah. Go ahead, Brent.
I can't remember. Has Katie and Connie ever played against each other?
No, they have not. They clearly know each other, obviously, but that was Katie's only match. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
that would be an interesting match. I think who would win?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I think that it was just good to see friends just bonding and relaxing and having a good time with the game rather than take something seriously. Don't forget, competitors take this seriously. With guests and stuff like that and people that are friends, they're going to goof around. They're going to end up just smack talking with each other, just having a good time, relaxing over drinks, pretty much. And that's what I felt like with this. It was more of a laid-back show where basically he's drinking whenever he drinks, and then, they're just having a good back-and-forth match against each other. That's what I actually felt. I didn't take the match seriously or anything like that. I know everybody else frowns upon this match. I think it's underrated. Still think it's underrated. But there's also a lot to look up at with this match, though, and things like that, too. It's just about friendship, about just being goofy and stuff like that, and not having to worry about who's going to win, who's going to be the next competitor. It was just a relaxation type of thing where people can just breathe a little bit. And to me, I like those kind of filler, Schmoedown kind of stuff.
Yeah. And it's honestly, and if you're looking back at the catalog, that's where most of these celebrity matches were. They were kind of like nice filler places where fans can just take a breather, not focus too much on the storylines or at least the records. Like one of the matches that were on there, the Globe match between Clark Wolf, Team Classy, and Brianne Chandler of Team Misfits. They had the cast members of Glow on there. It was like a very fun match, honestly. I mean, of course, the one person in there that was really like extreme was Kaya, who was part of the show, actual wrestler. But even then, it was just like a great moment to where you just seeing Clark, Brianne, two great players in their own right, go with two while being team captains in this. And I definitely enjoyed myself going through this, seeing how Clark, you see some of the experience she gained through the Schmoedown, like really collaborating with some of the actresses that she was working with. And then you got Brianne, to where even though she's doing it for fun, at the same time, you clearly see that she likes the teamwork mentality of it. Even though, and it was, you clearly see like Clark, she was being laser focused, but still having fun, while Brianne was just there for the fun's sake. And then, of course, the end of that match, just seeing Kaya just pretend to start strangling people was like, "You blew it! You blew it! Oh my god!"
It felt like a WWE kind of style Schmoedown, to be honest with you, seeing that moment. And also, too, this is also with strengthen Clark's personality when it came down to the Schmoedown as well. It got her more invested into the Schmoedown. And also, too, seeing them, seeing the actresses from Glow come in, got me invested into the show and everything, too. I'm like, okay, I want to see these personalities and how they actually clash on the show that they have on Netflix, and that's what got me invested. So Christian actually got me into watching Glow, and then of course the match itself was just hilarious, seeing these actresses just go at each other and stuff like that, and goes, "You blew it," and then they're strangling each other. It was just perfect. It was just a perfect match, a perfect way of actually promoting something, and also too having a good time on Schmoedown. But I think Ben had something you want to say. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
No worries.
All right.
No, we're sorry about that, man. But it's still okay, because even then, just seeing how actually, no, it's a great point you brought up though, with the fact that watching Glow, that little battle royal match, got you interested in the show, and I think that's one thing that was definitely a nice bonus for the Schmoedown. Like, they're bringing in some celebrities, either Collider after interviews they did, and it's kind of like bringing them in on their free time to do this, and then getting more general fans interested. Like with Ash versus the Evil Dead match you're talking about, I maybe watched a couple episodes of that show, mostly because I didn't have Stars. But even then, it was like something I could not be die hard to get ready for. But then after watching that match, I decided to go back, try to watch all of season 1, and even then, even if I did miss out an episode, I was still like very keen to still watch an episode of Ash versus the Evil Dead. And same, of course, with the Power Rangers team match. That, obviously, I'm a big Power Rangers fan growing up in the 90s. But even then, just...
Me too.
We're all Power Rangers fans. So then, even with this little movie that was coming out, I kind of had since I was still interested to watch. But then, of course, seeing how the actors, Ludi Lin, Becky G, Decray Montgomery, and...
Naomi Scott.
No. Naomi Scott wasn't in this. She wasn't in this. No, in the teens match. She was not playing in the teens match.
I thought you meant in the movie. My bad.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking about the cast members that was in this. It was RJ Sada. RJ Sada. That's who was in the match. Yeah. Just seeing all 4 of those actors just in a simple teens match, like loving how they were going back and forth with each other was incredible. But one of my favorite takeaways from that Power Rangers match was Becky G. The fact that she's so young, but early on in, she nearly got like a perfect round in that first round.
Oh.
It was incredible. And then seeing how she and Ludi Lim kind of worked together as a team. RJ Seiler, he was great. He had great comedic chops in there. Even if he did not know an answer, I just loved how he just bounced off of the crowd's reactions. I loved how he was having these nice little back and forth jokes with Christian and Mark that was on the table. And then even towards the end, like if I were to say any of these celebrities I would have seen a part of doing another Schmoedown match, I could easily see Becky G come back. Of course she's very young because because one of her biggest complaints was she got classics and 80s questions, and she's like, I wasn't born in these during these times. But even then, she was still like a joy she was like a fresh personality in there. Like she and RJ, I can completely see playing in another one-off match or an exhibition match. Like the Disney exhibition match, I could easily see Becky G playing in that.
They were good in the match, and I like the movie. Sadly, since the movie is not going to go forward, sadly, I don't think we'll get these back. But you never know.
Right. Because seriously, I would like some of them to come back. I would like to see some of the actresses from Glow come back. I would like to actually see the cast from the Power Rangers come back, maybe 1 or 2 of them if they are available or whatever. I'd like to see them come back again, so the way their presence is not missed like it is right now, because I feel like it's all about where you put them and everything too. But it's also another thing as well, is like if the fans are calling for them to come back again, if they want to have them back on. But I would like to actually see some of the underrated celebrities come back and see how they go against each other now. Also, too, the kids from It is also older now, so I would like to actually see what movies they know now versus where they were before when they were kids, as well, because that would be interesting.
Okay, I'm sorry, I might be wrong here. I haven't seen It. But Alex Wolff in It.
The kids in It?
Alex Wolff from It.
Oh, no, he was Hereditary. He did the movie Hereditary.
Okay, so I would like to hear Alex Wolff, maybe with Finn Wolfhard. That would be a fun match.
Honestly, him returning, he took Roka all the way to his last question. And so I could definitely see Roka I could definitely see Wolf definitely as someone to come back in the Schmoedown. Like, hell, if we do a free agency little draft, if we see a free agency pickup, I would not be shocked if he comes in.
I just remember where I know Alex Wolff from. He's a main kid in Jumanji, right? In the new Jumanji?
Yes, he was in the new Jumanji film. Yeah, he played the Spencer character.
Okay. I knew him from something. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Even then, I actually met a couple of Schmoedown fans who actually liked Hereditary because they saw that match between Wolf and Roca. So, but bouncing off of what you said, John, that's one of the beauty parts of these celebrity matches. These just seeing these actors or personalities just play movie trivia. You could be almost interested to see, okay, what else do these guys have been a part of? Because one match I really recently rewatched was Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, a very well-known actor, going up against director Brian Goodman. Those two are promoting the movie Black Butterfly. That match was very interesting, though. Brian Goodman, even though he's a director, clearly did not come in with like the best trivia knowledge for the fun. But for Jonathan Myers, though, he's playing all character going on in there. Of course, John was ahead in the match. They get into round 2. He actually does a very good job by doing I forgot the slice he did, but even then, just like seeing John go back and forth with Brian, it was like one of those nice it was a nice competitive match between the two of them. Nothing big to take away from it, but even then, that's still a good match because you can still bring in actors, directors, even writers and producers. It doesn't need to be outlandish. It doesn't need to be very extreme or too exaggerated, but it can just be a nice, simple one-on-one match between the two of them. And then afterwards, the post interview, that could be hilarious because I just saw John and Brian. They were making grace laugh in the post interviews.
I haven't seen that one, to be honest with you. That's something that I need to watch after we get done with this. I think maybe I might have been working during that time, and I just happened to forget because I was just tired because I work 8 hours and everything at the hospital. So I think I might have missed out on that one, unfortunately. But from what you're telling me, it's a good match. It's something that I would be interested in watching and everything to try. And I'll actually have I'll just have a good experience watching it for the first time and fanboying over whatever happens in that match.
Yeah, like I'm saying, it's really one of those matches you can just go on there, watch just for don't have to worry about any a storylines going in there. That's the best thing about the Schmo. That's the best, like what I'm gonna keep reiterating. Best thing about these celebrity matches, they're one-offs. You don't have to worry about who's tied into what manager, what belt they're going for. You can just watch it, enjoy it, and then you're done.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't one of the Glow women go on to be drafted by Kaiser last season?
Brittany Young. Yeah, Brittany Young. Okay.
I think she's the only one that made that successful jump into the real ring, so to speak, right?
Yeah. And that was also another one I was kind of worried too because Brittany Young is an actual competitor now with a 2-0 record. But still, she's not 2-0. She's 1-0. 1-1.
1-1.
Yeah, she's 1-1. Well, look at her record there. I know she's played 2 matches. She's played 2 matches, though. But even then, that is also another great example of seeing a celebrity that impressed Christian and Mark from those who caught the bug and wanted to keep going. That's why I liked these takeaways. Like I could see Alex Wolf, I could see RJ Seiler, I could see Becky G. Like if they really wanted to continue with this, if they're willing to make the time, they can show up. And even then, actors that came on, like in later seasons, David Del Rio, a working actor, he came into the Schmoedown, didn't do no celebrity match. He just came in wanting to play. And even now with Doug Benson, he got signed in free agency during the season 7. But even then, he is still part of a faction this year. So
you know what I want? You know what I want to see and what happened? But you know what I would love to see happen? I would love to see Bruce Campbell come back to be on this.
I think Bruce would mainly do it to promote something of his, but even if Christian and Mark, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm sorry, my wheels was just turning. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go right ahead. You got somebody jump on it. Yeah, go for
it's
it.
Okay. But no, I would like to actually see Nev Campbell versus Bruce Campbell in a match because don't forget we have the new Scream movie coming out, and I would like to see a horror movie Schmoedown version of what we got with Schnepp and them, and have Nev Campbell, the cast from Scream, and the cast who used to be part of Ash vs. Evil Dead return and have that going.
Okay, well, don't forget. I didn't remember that.
Go for it.
Doctor Strange is coming out. Who is directing that?
Sam Raimi.
Yep.
I mean, no, he likes putting Bruce in his movies.
I see where you're going with Ben.
I don't think it would happen. But imagine Bruce Campbell from the MCU being involved somehow. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but imagine.
That'd be interesting. But
yeah, I really could. I mean, especially, I mean, since Schmoedown is now part of Skybound, I'm pretty sure that we may. I mean, Skybound. I mean, the people in charge of Skybound. I mean, Robert Kirkman's one of them. He does have created content out there, like with the new show of Invincible. I would not be surprised if he brings in some of the voice actors from Invincible for a Schmoedown style match. Or Christian posted the idea, so I'm not sure if this season, but maybe depending on when they get back in studio, we could see a return of these celebrity matches.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have something. Who's one of the voices in Invincible?
Who?
I have not watched it yet, so I don't know.
J.K. Simmons.
Oh, he voices the dad. He voices the dad. Yeah.
He played a very looking James Jordan Jameson in Invincible. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I know it's not, but J.K. is also in the MCU as of right now.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons versus Bruce Campbell in a celebrity match. Not saying it's going to happen, but that would be fun.
But it is nice to think about it, though. Like Bruce Campbell versus J.K. Simmons, and then possibly we can have maybe a Sam Raimi wheel slice on there, and then a Spider-Man wheel slice on there.
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be kind of nice. Yeah.
I would watch that.
I would definitely watch that, too. Just going through this.
Make that happen.
Yeah, let's make that. I mean, anything else? I mean, the fact that, I mean, what else is Skybound connected? I mean, Skybound's slightly partially connected to The Walking Dead. What was that?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the old members from The Walking Dead come on and do a Schmoedown or something. Andrew Lincoln, maybe a reunion type of show where you actually have these old characters come back and face off against Negan or something, being character.
What's that actor's name? Negan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan. God, he would be awesome.
I could definitely see him being a good heel.
He could, yeah. I mean, heck, his character work is so damn good. Yeah, what's up?
Jeffrey Dean Morgan versus the boys from Supernatural.
Oh, possibly. Yeah. I mean, shit.
That would be a fun match.
It really would. That is so good. Honestly, I was thinking more like bringing in like Norman Reedus or getting Dan Fogler. I mean, Dan Fogler, he's tied into not just Walking Dead, but he's also tied into the Harry Potter universe with Fantastic Beasts. And then, of course, with Norman Reedus, he was in a Marvel movie. So it would have been nice to like, I mean, even with the
Blade 3.
Oh, no, 2.
2, yeah. For some reason, I thought 3. For some reason, never mind. Forget me.
That's fine.
But yeah,
actually, the fact that Ryan Reynolds is out there doing these like promotions for Mint Mobile, if he does a promotional with Skybound, I would love to see Ryan Reynolds be on the Schmoedown, and then we just have a Ryan Reynolds slice in a match for it. I mean, he's done so many films. Oh God, that would be amazing. Jesus, I think that's one of the best things.
Ryan Reynolds has Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds has Deadpool.
Oh yeah, have him dress up as Deadpool and then just commentary for the match. That would be amazing. And then I like that Dave Filoni versus Jon Favreau Star Wars Exhibition. Oh geez, if Christian is, I know Christian. He interviews. I mean, he still does interviews for people. I mean, if he gets his one-on-ones back and he has a one-on-one with Dave Filoni or Jon Favreau. Even if it just comes up like just slightly, he brings up like, yeah, we do this little Schmoedown stuff, and then Jon Favreau excited. You kidding me? That opens the floodgates.
Mm-hmm. It opens up the floodgates for more Star Wars geekdom stuff, for people from Mandalorian showing up, actors, actresses from them. Also, you also have the Mandalorian fans coming in and watching Schmoedown as well.
MCU fans.
Yep. And new fans.
Exactly. And I'll just, before we get to our final thoughts here, this is why I think the celebrity matches are great. Just going over this stuff, the fact that the Katie Sackhoff and Knapsack match is a great example of just Christian knowing somebody from their past, bringing them in who's now a celebrity, a very talented actress, having her have fun playing just a movie trivia match just for the hell of it. Having that one answer that she did become synonymous with their whole show. The fact in highlight reels, you'll see her just say, listen along, and then holy shit moment. And then what Ben had just talked about with Freddie and Sam. That match alone, lightning in the bottle, most likely fast-tracked the Star Wars division and brought in so much, just the attention for it. And then matches that we had just talked about with Power Rangers, the Glow match, the It Losers Club match, the Alex Wolf versus Broca match, and even now with Asher's Evil Dead. Celebrities that love, maybe not big fan of movie, but using their movie knowledge, and possibly maybe you can almost foresee them coming into the Schmoedown. Like, so much to touch on, but getting into our closing matchups. Ben, any final thoughts, man?
I mean, as one of the celebrity matches were epic. They've done so much for the league. I don't think we would have what we have now without them. And they're just fun. They're fun to throw on in the background and watch again.
Yeah.
It was fun for me, though, too. I'm glad that you guys invited me on for this because, like I said before, I'm a returning Schmoedown fan. And to revisit the matches and everything, there's a lot of nostalgia factor for me. It reminded me of me coming home. Like, let's say, for instance, I was like a war veteran. I came home, and now I'm revisiting all my friends again and seeing where they're at now. And that's what it feels like to me watching the Schmoedown again. It feels like I remember now what got me into Schmoedown and stuff like that. And having Frenchie just talking to me about Schmoedown all the time, and I finally decided to come back into the Schmoedown and watch Schmoedown again. And I'm loving it. I'm loving the rules, the regulations, and stuff like that. The changes that they made, it was for the better. I'm also and I'm going to go on ahead and say what Ben said about the celebrity matches as well. I love the celebrity matches and everything. It gets views. Not only does it get views, but it also gets new fan bases in there. Because I remember I shared Chris Jericho's match with Kevin Smith. I'm like, look, guys, you guys are Kevin Smith fans, right? Well, don't you want to go in and support them? How do we do that? You guys go ahead, go over to Schmoedown. What's Schmoedown? It's a movie, a trivia show in a WWE kind of format. And if you like wrestling, which you do, if you don't like wrestling, then, and you say you do, then, you're not really actual wrestling fans in a sense. But you need to watch this show for what it is. This show is fantastic. You guys need to go on and check it out. And I got my friends now invested. As a matter of fact, a couple of my admins, my friend Charlie, he's a big, huge WWE fan, and I got him invested in the Schmoedown by making him watch the Chris Jericho match and everything, and Kevin Smith match because he likes both. So now he's invested into this. So, the celebrity matches is what brings people in as well. And the curiosity of what the Schmoedown is and trying to explain to audiences what the Schmoedown is. It's what generates more people coming, which means more tickets for Christian to sell, which also means more sponsors for them, which also means more merch for us to buy. So it's a win-win situation.
Exactly, a complete 100% win-win scenario, and I do agree with that 100% more. And of course, I've already gone so much on just the importance of these matches. But yes, the main takeaway is if you have to take away something from these celebrity matches, it is exactly what John, Ben, and myself have been saying throughout this entire stream. When you bring in celebrities into the Schmoedown, this is not about like the Schmoedown trying to get mainstream with their material. This is not just them trying to get more views. It is important to get more fans involved. It is definitely more important. And it's exactly why the celebrity matches are fantastic there. And what you just said, Aaron, you got a friend of yours that was a WWE fan through that Smith and Jericho match that came in there. Even slightly touching on Smith, he knows Mark Bernardin. And Mark Bernardin told him about the Schmoedown that got him interested. And then Jericho, that interview he had with them on Collider Talk, he was aware of the Schmoedown as well. So knowing that the Schmoedown is gaining attention on all of these platforms, reaching out to these celebrities is amazing. So for my final thoughts in here, I think if it really wasn't these Schmoedown matches, these celebrity matches, they not only deserve their own spot amongst the Schmoedown Mount Rushmore, it's hierarchy, but it is without a doubt a huge foundation, a huge staple here in the staple. Did I say staple? Staple of the Schmoedown. Because otherwise, what better way to, not know more celebrities, but just to see your favorite celebrities kick back, have fun, see how they are as a movie trivia, and then possibly show a little bit of their little comedic chops and their character and how great they are as performers here as just watching the Schmoedown alone. And one thing for sure, I would love for this to return in season 8, if not next year when they're back in the studios. Yeah, that's the only way this will happen, in the studio. I know they're able to do this with Jericho Smith and some of these other celebrities, but I would love to see this stuff back again. These celebrity matches, and then we'll see what other new fans we're going to be able to bring into this. So, wrapping up, guys, John, thank you so much for coming on here. We hope to once again bring you back on another episode from Mount Schmoedown. But in the meantime, where can everybody find you?
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to the next time. And everybody, you guys can follow me at Movie Lovers TV Lovers Night on Facebook, underneath the same brand name on Instagram, and as well as on Pinterest. You guys can also go on ahead, check us out at www.movieloversunite.com. Another thing, too, is if you want to go on ahead and follow me on Twitter, you just go on ahead and follow me at Movie Lovers Unit over there. Same thing over on Stereo as well, because I'm also on Stereo at Movie Lovers Unit over there, and John DeGorio 8 on Twitter. And those are all the places that you can actually reach me at. Of course, you can also reach me on my Movie Lovers Unite YouTube show. So go on ahead, give me a like, give me a subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy what we have.
Right. Ben, closing up, brother, where can people find you? Other than just here on Mount Schmoedown, what else do you got?
You can find me on my other YouTube channel, Minos Rennie's Network. You can also find me at ManRanger2 on Twitter. That's basically it. How about you, Ryan?
Well, other than our Mount Schmoedown YouTube channel, our Twitter, which you guys see right underneath John Mount Schmoedown, I also have I also do a wrestling podcast with one of my buddies who's part of the First Class League, James Shimo. It's called the Wrestling Ramblings and Rages podcast. We mainly do our stuff on Anchor and Spotify. We've lately moved on to Stereo, to where we are live. We're doing our shows. Mainly our shows is we are just recapping and reviewing all of the most recent stuff from wrestling, like WWE, NXT, AEW, and Impact. We do that, and then we do pay-per-view reviews. But yeah, all of our stuff is either on Anchor and on Spotify. Just look for Wrestling Ramblings and Rages podcast. Oh, I was going to say, normally this one we're going to sign up, but finally, since I'm done with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. If you weren't live, please like our video, leave a comment subscribe to Schmoes of the North, and we are definitely going to see you next time here on Mount Schmoedown.